Have you ever engaged in a serious debate over which is better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Have you ever played Smash or Pass using only characters from Star Wars and Marvel movies? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we have the podcast for you. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen, the podcast where an expert panel convenes to ask the questions about pop culture and social commentary that other podcasts are afraid to ask. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Fans International Association is back. That's right, the premier fan club association of the 1970s and 1980s has been revived and is back in business. Join today. It's free at thewfia.org. That's thewfia.org. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/WFIA 1969. Welcome back, everybody, once again to the 1987 Supermod. I am your host, Brad Drake, and this is the Christmas series. And we are back with the World Wrestling Federation here in the Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Everybody, we are in Bruno Sammartino country. Bruno was huge in Baltimore, and that's why he is in the main event tonight. This is a simple house show, so we won't be broadcasting. A little bit of a change of pace here from what we've been dealing with lately. And here we have some protege work between superstar Billy Graham and Jesse Ventura. Everybody, this is a stacked card. And I mean a stacked card. Check this one out. In our opener, Jerry Allen against Sika. Barry Horowitz will battle S.D. Jones. Tony Garea will battle Kamala. Fabulous Moolah will once again face Sensational Sherri for that World Women's title. The Natural Butch Reed is going to battle superstar Billy Graham. Brutus the Barber Beefcake will face the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Sam Houston and Brad Rheingans are going to face Demolition. Hercules will face Tito Santana, one half of Strikeforce, here in singles action. In our semi-main, we're going to have the King Harley race against the Macho Man Randy Savage, and our main event, everybody, is going to be a big one with King Kong Bundy and One Man Gang against the living legend Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan. As usual, everybody, the asterisk indicates that the match has been altered for whatever reason. Either people aren't on the roster at the time, people are injured, something like that usually leads to the asterisk. However, we also add matches, too, from other shows, since we can't run the 3 shows per night like the WWF really did. So that's the reason for the asterisk. That's what they mean. And those of you that have watched it for a while, you already know that. But there's a lot of new watchers, and we'd like to clue you in, too. So with all that said, everybody, let's get to booking. And here we go. Here is our opener, Allen versus Sika. They're going to go 8 minutes, and Jerry Allen is going to take the fall here to Sika. Sika has a rare thing going here where they're actually letting him still wrestle for an independent promotion with his brother, but he's still on television with the WWF. I don't know what happened with Afa, if he just quit, if there was some kind of falling out with him and the WWF, but either way, Afa is out. So here we go. Sika with the W here, everybody. Up next, Horowitz and S.D. Jones. They're going to go 8. And S.D. Jones has been getting some work in lately here. It's kind of funny how we watch these old shows, and obviously we're not doing all of them because we can't. There's 3 of them a night. But you see stretches where the same wrestlers are used again and again. And then you see stretches where they're not used for a while. So here we go. S.D. Jones with the W here, everybody. SD Jones been with the WWF for a long time, so he's very familiar with Baltimore and probably pretty well over in Baltimore. And here we go. Tony Garea against Kamala. And they are also going to go 8 minutes here. So here we go. Garea versus Kamala. Tony Garea, one of the all-time tag team greats in the WWF. Many-time World Tag Team Champion. He's an excellent hand. He's at the end of his career here. He does not mind doing enhancement work, and he also works as a road agent. So Garea's kind of got the best of both worlds here. He's still in the ring, and he is a road agent. So Kamala with the W here over Tony Garea. And here we go. Moolah and Sensational Sherri once again. This is 3 shows in a row now. We've seen these two. You know, Moolah lost the title and then disappeared for a while. I wonder if she wasn't injured, if there wasn't some kind of injury. Now, I know we're all supposed to hate the fabulous Moolah now, but I'm still curious to see. And I'm going to make a little statement on that fabulous Moolah situation. Fabulous Moolah, without looking at any records, she's been dead for over a decade now, if not longer than that. And you didn't hear any of these accusations while she was alive. Sensational Sherri, by the way, is getting the win here by cheating because that's what heels do. They cheat. And she dies, and somebody a decade plus after her death comes out with these stories about how horrible of a person she was, and how she was, lack of better terms, pimping women out and stuff like that, women wrestlers out. And she's not here to defend herself. And frankly, none of her friends are either. So how do we know that this is true? You know, we don't know. And I'm not saying that it's not possible that it is true. It very well could be very true. But it just seems strange to me that you don't hear these accusations while she's alive, and 10 years plus after her death, somebody comes forward and makes these accusations, and suddenly she's the scum of the earth and nobody can talk about her anymore, and there's an attempt to erase her from wrestling history. Now, let's look at the facts here, what we do know. Fabulous Moolah trained female wrestlers. She, like a lot of people that trained back then, a lot of promoters, took a cut of her wrestlers' pay. She also provided women wrestlers to professional wrestling companies. So in a sense, Moolah was a promoter. We're going to do a draw here with Reed and Graham. We'll let this one, we'll let the AI decide how that one's going to finish. So we knew that Moolah provided wrestlers. We knew Moolah took a cut of her wrestlers' pay. We all know this, but this is not uncommon for the time period. Vern Gagne took a cut of his wrestlers' pay that he trained, and he wanted it the rest of their career. I don't know how many actually paid out, but I'm sure a lot did. You know, Vince McMahon would send wrestlers to other territories and take a cut. This is just how business was done back then, everybody. So when you hear those stories, although it may sound mean or whatever to people nowadays, that was the wrestling business back then. Wrong or right, that was the wrestling business, and that's how things were done. And not everybody who had the money to buy a ring could run a wrestling promotion back then. There were governing bodies that prevented that. You had to get a license. You had to get a promoter's license. You had to have health screenings of your wrestlers. There was a lot of factors. It was treated as a professional sport. And you know, if you take things into concept with your mind of how things were in those days, then a lot of these mean things that Fabulous Moolah is being accused of seems. Let me take that back. The way of looking at Fabulous Moolah of being so horrible because she took her wrestlers' pay and took liberties and stuff like that, that she's this horrible person. Well, if she's a horrible person for that, then Vern Gagne is a horrible person. Vince McMahon Sr. is a horrible person. Probably just about every wrestling promoter outside of maybe Don Owens Don Owen, that everybody respected and liked, would be considered a scumbag, right? Because this is just the way business was done. Now, back to the point of her pimping out her wrestlers to male wrestlers or fans or that kind of stuff, that she was apparently arranging some kind of sexual situations and getting paid for it, almost running like a prostitution type deal. I don't know. It could have happened, but why would this have just come out over a decade after her death? The woman lived at 80 some years old. You're trying to tell me that nobody would accuse her of this stuff in the 90s when she was all over WWF television? I don't know. It just seems strange to me. And again, she's not here to defend herself, and either of her are her friends. So I think it's best just to let sleeping dogs lie with that kind of stuff, and that just be the end of it. All right, Beefcake and DiBiase. DiBiase's going to get the win here. Of course, he's going to cheat with the help of Virgil. Next, we have Sam Houston and Brad Rheingans, and they are going to battle Demolition in a tag team bout. So here we go. Here is Demolition, or our Demolition. Do I have Houston and Rheingans as a tag team? I don't, even though they've been tagging quite a bit. Here is Sam Houston. Here is Brad Rheingans. And they are going to fall prey to the Demolition decapitation here. And I did have them in there as a tag team, and for some reason couldn't find them. And there's no reason for Demolition to cheat here. They massively oversized these guys, so it's fair that they take the win clean. Of course, it's not going to be clean the whole match. You're going to have Fuji tripping people and stuff like that, because that's just heel work 101. Here we go. Hercules and Santana. And again, even though Santana is part of Strikeforce, he is working an absolute ton of singles bouts here. All right, here is the mighty Hercules. Here is Tito Santana. Hercules has been doing a lot of favors here lately. So Hercules is going to get the win. We're going to have him get the win by the help of his manager, Bobby Heenan. All right, this one is booked. Up next here, we have Harley Race and Randy Savage in a match. This should be a good one. I wonder how many times these two actually wrestled in real life. Here's Race. Here's Savage. You can always look it up on Cage Match and stuff like that, but those sites aren't exactly accurate. There's a lot of missing information. All right, here is the King Harley Race. Here is Randy Savage. We're going to have Savage go over clean here because we continue pushing Randy Savage as the newfound babyface. All right, here comes our big main event, and it is a big main event, no doubt about it. 25 minutes. We have Bundy and One Man Gang versus Hogan and Sammartino. This is a cool match. I like this. Here's King Kong Bundy. Here is One Man Gang. Here is the Hulkster. Here's Bruno Sammartino. It's a cool main event. Cool match to have for Sammartino's last run here in the ring. Good stuff. And we are going to have the Hulkster get the win. This one can be an epic. And there we go. All right, we're just under 2.5 hours here. Perfect. We're ready to rock. Let's see how we do here, everybody. All right, Jerry Allen and Sika. Sika gets the win with that Samoan drop, a 61 and a 44. Nets us a 58. And here we go. Horowitz and Jones, 45 and a 47. And the Mets us a 36. Because we get red text of doom saying that the fans don't want to see two workers that they don't know a lot about. Fair enough. And here we go. Tony Garea in there against Kamala. Kamala wins with that giant splash. And no doubt he would have. And here we go again. Sensational Sherri stealing another match from the fabulous Moolah. 62 overall. 66 and a 46 for these two. Good stuff. All right, up next here, Reed and Superstar Billy Graham. 83 for these two. Good match. Here we go. We get a double disqualification for these two. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Up next, Beefcake and DiBiase gets the win with that $1 Million Dream. I just learned by listening to the Wrestling Memory Grenade that DiBiase was not using the $1 Million Dream yet at this point. I think he was, I meant to write it down when I heard it the other day. I forget what kind of a finisher he was using, if it was a Russian leg sweep or something like that, but it was not the $1 Million Dream. If you know, drop a message below and let me know, because I can't remember. All right, 77 for these two, and again, a really good score. Here we go, Demolition over Rheingans in Houston. And outstanding score here, lots of green. Green equals money, 84 overall for these two. And just as I predicted, Rheingans takes the Demolition decapitation. All right, Hercules and Santana get an outstanding 85 here. I like it. Hercules with the win over Santana. Hercules wins via that backbreaker rack. Good stuff, good score. All right, here comes our semi-main. Outstanding score here. Harley Race and Randy Savage, 93 to 97, gets us a 94. And don't worry, everybody. In version 11, these kind of super high scores get cleaned up. But outstanding match regardless. The Macho Man wins with that flying elbow drop. Here comes our main event. You only get an 85. Ouch. That was not what I expected. But then again, One Man Gang is new to the territory. He's really green at this point, and popularity based on the product we're using really matters here. So that's what held us back. But Hogan gets the win by nailing King Kong Bundy with that big boot and then the big leg drop. Good stuff, 85 overall. We're going to finish this one out. Finish it up, however you want to put it. We're going to call out Randy Savage. Outstanding performance. Tito Santana had an outstanding performance. And we're also going to point out King Kong Bundy here. Bundy did a good job. So all three of these men, great performance. Let's let it rip and make that speech. Savage is pleased. Santana is pleased, and Bundy is pleased. Brad Drake is also pleased, everybody. So we're moving on to our next tour date here, which will not be for a week. Just under a week game-wise, because we're back to the first week, so that means we got to record all of our television shows, everybody. So let's wait a second here for this to load up. And it's going to. Let's take a quick look around. Nothing else too exciting here for me. Everybody's tired. All American Wrestling gets 221,000 viewers. Gets a heck of a lot more than that in real life. Wrestling Challenge only gets 135,000. Again, the numbers are probably 10 times that, if not 20 times that. Smash likes Ted DiBiase. We like him too, Smash. The Gang, Kamala, and Fabulous Moolah are all tired. And that, everybody, is going to do it for us for this one. Just a heads up for you. I am going to be taking a break. These shows will not be back on until after the first of the year, everybody. I am taking a break. Recording these shows, editing, uploading takes a great deal of time. Frankly, with work and these, I'm tired. And I'm looking forward to taking a couple of weeks off here and enjoying time with my family and friends. And frankly, it's not even a couple of weeks. It's more like 8 or 9 days, maybe 10 days. But we'll be back in action. I wish you and your families a Merry Christmas. And for those of you that may celebrate whatever other holiday you celebrate, I wish you happy holidays. Everybody have a happy and safe New Year. Please do not drink and drive. It's so easy now just to call an Uber, to find somebody to give you a ride. Do not drink and drive on New Year's Eve, everybody. And also, be careful of getting randomly punched in the face on New Year's Eve. Because you get a lot of people that go out that don't drink normally, and they act like idiots. And they'll try picking fights with you, and they'll be puking, and it's just be a mess. You're better off staying at home or going to a private party on New Year's Eve. Take it from a guy that used to party hard on New Year's Eve. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. For those of you that are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Drop us a message below. Let us know you found the channel. Make sure to download your copy of version 11 of the Supermod over on patreon.com/PowerCast Network. Don't forget to check us out on social media, facebook.com/groups/1987, and cash in on your free membership to Wrestling Fans International Association. Head on over to the WFIA.org. Once again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.